Well, welcome back, everyone, to the Dare to Be Great, Dare to Be You podcast. My name is Shawn Langwell, and I am your host. And we are making our way through a book that I wrote in 2023 called Today's the Day. And it's practical wisdom to live an extraordinary life. I purposely wrote this book because I go back to it myself. There's like 2 and 3 page chapters at most. So people who don't read a whole lot, this is a great little pick me up from an attitude standpoint, from a gratitude standpoint, from a holistic living standpoint. There's so much packed into this that I felt compelled to want to read this out loud on my podcast and share it with the world. The book is available on Amazon and Copperfields and basically wherever books are sold. We're going to pick up where we left off and a chapter that is near and dear to my heart called Finding Our Why. He who has a why to live for, he who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow. Friedrich Nietzsche. Three keys to living a meaningful and purposeful life are belief, willingness, and love. They are integral to helping you clarify and discover your motives, purpose, and drive. The goal here is to help you find and clarify your why so you can become more confident and thrive in all areas of your life: finances, relationships, career, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, etc. You may discover as we continue that our why is dynamic and fluid. Your goals are not always an end result or destination. That would make them transactional. The lasting and, in my opinion, far greater rewards lie in our pursuit of why with the mindset and objective of transformation and becoming rather than mere achievement, acquisition, and accomplishment. Our why is our raison d'être, our reason for being, for living, our purpose, our calling. When we find and discover a purpose and motive that is greater than our own selfish wants, needs, or desires, something magical happens. The universe reveals endless opportunities for fulfillment. It paves the way for us to practice, grow, and serve. Our mission is to be vigilant and courageous enough to answer the call when prompted. Conversely, when we choose to remain in a state of fear, feeling like a victim of circumstance, we further exacerbate and perpetuate a state of dissatisfaction or despair. Who wants that? Not me. Today, I encourage you to consider the five most important things and values, big rocks, in your life and begin to focus 80% of your time, energy, and attention into enhancing them. As you identify them, ask yourself several times throughout the day, is this moving me closer to X? If not, why not? Honestly ask yourself, what different decision or action should I take to get back on track? No guilt or shame, just incremental improvement and practice until this becomes a habit. As you do, you will soon discover that decisions become easier. Your value system will become a new barometer. Your life will become simpler, less stressful. A few words of caution. You must also learn how to give yourself grace and allow room for mistakes. Practice learning, practice letting go of mistakes, learn from them, and vow to do better next time. Don't fall into the victim and self-pity guilt trap. Own your life. Take responsibility for the person you want to be and let each victory be one more deposit into your confidence bank. Soon you will discover that life is much more meaningful when you uncover your why. It also becomes richer, more satisfying, and more fulfilling as you stay on the path of progress, not perfection. Big rocks first. What are the big rocks you chose? What are the big rocks you chose in the last chapter? What or who do you value most? Are the valued things and people in your life given the priority they deserve? In other words, are your purported values aligned with where you invest most of your time, money, and energy? If not, why not? What is it? What is in your way? And what can you do to change it to get back on track? These questions are deep and personal. As such, I am just going to leave them here for you to ponder. Whatever you come up with, they represent your reality in this moment. Your motives and goals will shift over time. That is perfectly normal. But the big rocks are the pillars and foundational values you believe and live by, and they rarely change. They are solid, and when not given the attention and priority they deserve, we tend to feel off balance, stressed, and uptight. In my case, I know when my priorities are out of whack, usually when I am trying to control people, places, and things to suit my needs, when I am selfish, self centered, and more concerned about accomplishment or looking good on the outside. For me, this is dangerous. But as soon as I refocus my energy and attention on a power greater than myself and serving others, I return to a state of gratitude and feel whole again. Life returns to an easy, stress-free pace. In other words, when I am stuck in self-will, my days are shitty. As soon as I take my eyes off myself and onto God or others, my days become fun again. To cut to the chase, my biggest rocks in order of priority are my higher power, sobriety, family, friends, and my vocation. Woven into each are character traits which hold equal, if not greater value than the other big rocks. These are honesty, humility, courage, love, focus, forgiveness, willingness, effort, commitment, and conviction. Wherever you currently land on the mental, physical, emotional, or spiritual collective continuum, I encourage you to invest the time to clearly identify what the big rocks and values are in your life and to nurture them in all you do. A promise. As we explore and integrate these big rocks into our lives, everything will seem smoother. We will not be as stressed or spun, especially if we have some sense of spirituality or a relationship with a power greater than ourselves. With clear values, meaning, and purpose, big rocks, behind all we do at home, work, and in our relationships, we tend to feel a greater sense of inner peace and direction. If you are not clear what your big rocks are, I urge you to spend considerable time over the next several weeks until you do. It will be one of the healthiest things you can do for the rest of your life. To help you get started, let's see what values, your big rocks, emerge as you consider and answer the 5 questions in the prompts below. Into action / practice / get busy with it. Today is a great day for contemplation. Consider and ask yourself these 5 important questions. 1, what do I think I really want? 2, what am I good at? 3, what is really holding me back? 4, why do I want it / what are my motives? And 5, what am I willing to do to get it? I encourage you to grab a journal or notebook and spend 15 to 30 minutes jotting down your initial thoughts, feelings, experiences, successes, and failures, anything you believe is important to help you succeed. Don't overthink any of your responses. Just write as much as you can. The purpose of this exercise is to explore and perhaps begin to clarify what is important to you and what skills and talents you already have. Note, there are no right or wrong answers. I urge you to get started now. Doing so will set the stage for the rest of your day, and you will likely feel less stressed and more confident to face whatever challenges come your way. For now, do as much as you can in the time allotted. This critical activity will help you begin to develop a habit of introspection and start aligning what you want with what you value, as we discussed earlier. I encourage you to revisit these questions as often as you like and to add more detail and clarification. As you do, you will likely begin to see a natural shift toward feeling better about the direction of your life, the direction your life is moving, because you have identified and honor your big rocks and have invested the time to take control of your own destiny. A river of ambitions. The following is an excerpt from 10 Seconds of Boldness you may find valuable. A river of ambitions. You and your dreams are worth the effort it will take to accomplish the change you seek. But you have to invest some time figuring out what that means to you. Without a clear direction and a reason why, all your efforts will be wasted. The temptations to give up before you are halfway there will be too great, and you will forever remain where you are. All greatness requires boldness, bravery, and courage at some point. It is the price of admission. The sooner you understand and accept that fact and start becoming more daring, the faster and sooner you will build the confidence to become the person you want to be and do the things that until now have likely seemed out of reach. Another way to approach each of the five important questions is to think of them as a river of ambitions, and you are in a kayak with a paddle. Some days your thoughts, dreams, goals, and challenges will be clear, flowing at a steady pace like a river's surface on a calm day. Other days may feel like you're in a raging torrent with whitewater rapids, struggling to survive as you twist and turn around huge boulders. This can be exhilarating or frightening or both, depending on your experience navigating the ever-changing rivers of life. Whatever your response, don't fight the river. The boulders will always be there. The river never stops. But your course may change depending on the conditions of the day. That is perfectly normal and smart. Don't fear obstacles or setbacks. Expect them. Be prepared and learn to deal with them. I will admit, when it comes to other people's problems, it is always easier to offer advice or wisdom. But when the time comes to take an honest look within to thoroughly examine our own thoughts, actions, and behaviors, we crumble. For some, the introspection necessary to overcome the years of bad habits and negative ways of thinking will seem too painful. It's not. Like cleaning out an overcrowded garage, we need to start one cabinet or one corner at a time. For our purposes, that one thing is the courage to tackle each problem in turn. This will build a track record of success and help you become more self-confident. Folks, this has been Dare to Be Great, Dare to Be You. And these last three chapters they're in the middle of the book for a reason, because they're the core central values and purpose and motives behind why I do what I do. And oftentimes, trying to find that purpose or find our why or understand what the big rocks are, we need to stop and take some time to really assess what it is that really matters to us. It isn't about looking good. It isn't about having the most likes on Facebook. It isn't about the car we drive, where we live, the zip code we live in, any of that stuff. Quite honestly, most of that stuff is not as important as we give it. It doesn't hold the importance that we give it. Yes, it matters. Yes, health matters. All of it matters. But for each individual listening to this episode or reading this book, it's incumbent upon you to take the time to nurture what it is that you want to do with the rest of your life. It's not selfish, because if you don't put your own oxygen mask on first, what do you have left to give the rest of the world? Nothing. It's important to set aside the need to please other people or look good on the outside, to take a look in the mirror and say, what is it that I really want? And to own it, to honor it, to nurture it, to live with it, and to start practicing, even as uncomfortable as it gets, this process of rebuilding your self-esteem, changing the narratives, changing the self-talk, and changing the way that you think about yourself in relation to other people, yourself, your spirituality, and your relationships in work and wherever your life takes you. Folks, this has been Dare to Be Great, Dare to Be You. My name is Shawn, last name Langwell. Website is shawnlangwell.com. Check it out, follow the episode, like it, and keep coming back. Until next time.